live. We are officially live. Welcome everyone to the Hennessy Performance League booth for the F1 series. Obviously, if you were just with us, you just saw our NASCAR portion. We are officially live on the YouTube channel. 17 drivers here tonight. A lot of new places, new faces. We're going to get through all of that in this qualifying session. But with me in the booth, it will be the Alfa Romeo owner. He just did a race at Las Vegas, and that is Porchy.
Hello everyone, it's good to be here once again.
Yeah, we're back. If you were here last time, you saw the hectic finish to the Xfinity race. Go Boom, the driver in the Aston Martin, Kyle 18 fan. He got the win with McCart in P2, but good race overall. But we move on to our F1 portion, more diverse, a little bit more difficult to grasp right away. But let's scroll through the teams. I guess we'll just start with the first team that I see here, number 7, the Williams team. Number 7, and then Mike G. The second team will be one new driver, one familiar face. We have in the Mercedes, we have Freedom Flyer coming back for another season as there is an Aston Martin off. And then we also have Masopes in the second Mercedes seat. Porchy announced who is in on Aston Martin.
Well, Aston Martin, you got Logan Im, and I believe he is a new driver. Kyle 18 fan, a new face here in the series, but
that is Go Boom.
Riley, you were talking about Williams and Mercedes. We did see the Aston go off, so I'm not sure what that was entirely about. That was a little bit odd, but I believe the first person to start their qualifying lap will be the AlphaTauri of Dank, I believe.
Yeah, speaking of AlphaTauri, we'll introduce that team, Dank, emotions in the AlphaTauri, and a movement as well as his second seat. In the Ferrari, only one driver registered right now in that seat. That is Gary. Came second in the championship last year, looking to improve on that and try and win, but he can only do the first 2 races, so we'll just see how he goes for the driver of the Ferrari.
There's not as many people on track as I thought there would be. Monza is a pretty fast-paced track. It's one of the fastest on the calendar. So I would think there would be a lot more out on track, but there's only about 5 or 6 people on track as Dank sets the benchmark time with the 23.8. That'll most likely get beaten. But as far as that goes, I believe the next person on their time lap is Logan Im, and that's an invalidation.
Yeah, I'm on board with Freedom now. In the Mercedes, looks like he's going to be the second person across the line and set his lap. It looks like he will go pole, but how quick? So 1:20.7, good lap for the Mercedes driver. I've talked to Freedom during the off season. My goal for him is to not get more than 6 seconds, as he might run into the back of.
Close. Watch out there.
Back of the Red Bull. Speaking of Red Bull, Ball Stick. Let's introduce those two as a team. Ball Stick, Big Jim back. They were the Ferrari duo. Ball Stick took over the ownership of Red Bull, so they'll be in Red Bull as Ball Stick's in the grass and hits the wall. Yep, that's a JRM moment. But as we were saying, is we're going to go on board with the Alpine. Introduce their team, Ray Furchinator back again. The duo ready to improve on their season from last year. Ray joined mid-season. I believe he got a win at Spa and looking to mount a full championship fight in D2.
Yeah, he was pretty fast towards the end of the season. So hopefully Alpine. I think now that this new season is up and underway, Alpine will definitely have better management per se because last season they were all over the place with getting drivers, removing drivers because they weren't showing up. But now I think it's safe to say that Alpina has found their drivers for this season.
Yeah, I believe we've gotten through most of the teams. One team that we have not gotten to is your own team, and that is Team Air Jordan and the Alfa Romeo KU back. KU didn't have a fun time last time. He was on track in that Abu Dhabi race, taking out Gary in turn 3 there, so looking to improve on that. Same with Team Air Jordan as well. He starts his lap in Sector 1. And then lastly, last on the list, but not least, the McLaren team. Color, Mike G goes to the top of the board. Color in the McLaren with Cyogenic as his running mate, who is not here tonight.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of a surprise that there's already been 7 minutes that's gone through, and only 6 people have set a lap time as of now. Obviously, Logan Ames' lap time is not really anything because he's spun out multiple times on his lap, so expect that to improve. But a couple of people starting their laps right now. Masopes, Cal 18 fan, and is there a Williams being spun around in Sector 1? Whoa, it's Ballstick in the grass there with the Alpine.
Yeah, Jim went
That's tight.
P4, Bostic P5, Team Air Jordan. I was on board with him most of this lap. It won't be pole. It probably will be a 25, maybe 26 for the Alfa Romeo. It's a 26, so room for improvement, definitely.
For sure. There's always going to be improvement, especially here because the track is, I mean, it gets really fast later in the session, and someone has destroyed the runoff area placing boards. I'm not sure who that is, but it looks like they have missed Sector 1, and they'll be restarting their lap. But now that everyone, for the most part, is on the track, setting lap times, but still a long way to go in qualifying. 10 minutes left. It should be an interesting race. Obviously, Turn 1 at Monza, we've known for a number of years in the F1 community that it's going to be pretty crazy in Turn 1 at Monza, as I'm sure everyone has seen the Turn 1 Monza memes of everyone missing the corner and hitting each other. It would not be a surprise to see that tonight, but nonetheless,
Yeah, one person that was missing corners is Furch right now, but Mason, he invalidated his lap. He's back in the pit lane. So I think most of these drivers are trying to do 2 runs here. I think that's the goal, or 2 runs on the set of softs and then saving that extra set of softs. D2 or even F1 and Division 1 in our Division 1 series has been known to have some sort of late race safety car. So they're trying to save that fresh set of softs for when the race begins.
oh yeah, for sure. And obviously, a fresh set of softs versus, an old medium or old hard tire per se, it's such a difference. I mean, not a chance to even defend against the fresh soft. Even if it's a qualifying set that you put on, it's still not going to be enough to defend because it's just the soft, especially here at Monza, it has so much grip. And as we see, Aston Martin go top of the board with a 20 flats.
Yeah, good lap for Go Boom. Him and Logan Aim, P1 and P3 right now. But one thing I was going to point out, Mason Pope, driver of the Mercedes, says the D2 championship goes through him, and already halfway through this short qualifying session. If he wants to go through him, it's not going to happen from 13th. So,
For sure.
6 more drivers to set a lap. Movement, I don't know what he's doing, but kind of just wasting time right here. KU is on his lap. Bobby Love just started his lap in the Williams.
Very busy pit lane as everyone's trying to get back in the pit lane so they can put on that last set of soft tires and go out with probably within about 3 to 4 minutes left, so they can set their final lap.
Yeah, on board with Bobby Love. Nice and tidy through the first two sectors. Coming up on a Mercedes, I believe that is not Mason, that is Freedom. He's not on the lap, so he gets out of the way. Bobby Love coming across the line in Sector 2. That's not going to be a fastest Sector 2, but nice and tidy, a little bit loose.
A little bit of snap through there. That's where you really don't want to lose the car.
Another long straight here, so this really hurts. That's probably about a tenth that he lost, and let's see how he does in the final quarter.
He probably
not
lost
bad.
about 2 to 3 tenths.
It still might be pole either way. It will not, but P4 definitely room for improvement for Bobby
That
Love.
definitely costed him P2 at best, in my opinion, with that little snap that he had going to Ascari.
On board with Mason now. One final corner.
Whoa!
Well, that's not a good lap, but just get across the line. It should be a 120 still. That's
20.7.
That is scary for the field. I think he definitely lost about 2 tenths there, and I'm sure there's room for improvement. But I mean,
even if he lost,
do this.
Look out here.
Okay. But Mason Pope calling out the Division II series, saying this series goes through him. P6 is not going to cut it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, I can probably see him maybe getting P4 at best, if he can at least get to the pit lane in time.
Plenty of time, 5 minutes.
Yeah, but as we see, someone spun around in the chicane here. May have been Mike G. Not entirely sure though.
Ray improved by 5 tenths in that second sector, so he's going to be right about P2, P3.
That's gonna be P3, P4.
Yeah,
maybe.
And then let's see how he can do in this final sector, or this final corner. Now, one thing I did try and do today, I watched the 2021 race.
Whoa.
KU!
What a lap!
Barely over Go Boom, but hey, pole is pole. It doesn't matter how you get it.
And
Good
look
lap
at
for
P3,
KU.
less than a tenth as well.
Ray, yep, we talked about
What a fight
it.
for pole this is gonna be.
Yeah, still a bunch of names. Freedom. What can he do? He's 2 tenths up. He misses the corner though. Big snap there.
Oh, he's gonna lose so much time through here. He lost all that time in the second Lesmo.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. I was watching the 2021 race since they had extended highlights just to learn some of the corners on this track as he invalidates.
I assume he's heading back to the pit lane because he has no ERS left.
But I was going to say, trying to learn some of these corners. This is Parabolica now.
Whoa, Big Jim with the big slide. Not sure if you caught that on stream, but Big Jim and the Red Bull had a massive slide out of the second Lesmo. The second Lesmo is going to be pretty tricky this race for everyone because you may get one corner right, but if you mess up the second corner just a little bit, you're going to be in trouble.
That's one thing I will admit. I was struggling through this part of the track, just trying to learn what gear I needed to be in as Jim's going to blow the corner. Maybe just letting people go here. I think he should pit here, because he does not have the momentum to set another lap. He's not going to pit.
Oh, no, he's going to. All right, that's interesting.
But
honestly, it's pretty close than I thought it would be.
Oh, you gotta
First
get out of the
13th.
way.
Oh,
Jim's not even gonna make the corner. Spinning out.
Oh, that AlphaTauri.
No, that's not the AlphaTauri's fault. Jim overcooked it by a big margin. Mike G, top of the board.
By about 4.5 tenths of a second, too. Oh, I think... no, Jim got back going. Oh, watch out for the Williams, though. That's most likely the end of qualifying for Jim.
No, so that's time.
Get back to the pit lane.
They have time. Well, where is he? He's right behind Mike G, I believe. So
yeah, by the time he gets back to the pit lane.
Oh. Well.
Okay then, that's
This is if you're gonna cut the track and get to pit lane, that's one way to do it.
Well, he's not gonna make it back to the pit lane in time because it's at least 30 seconds to get in and then get out. By the time he gets back to the pit lane, it's going to be like a minute and a half left to qualifying, so he's not going to make it. He can try, though.
Logan Aim trying to... I don't know if he's starting his lap or finishing his lap. Looks like he's starting or finishing a lap. Does not improve. So, still opportunity. If you're KU, you're Ray, Team Air Jordan, Ballstick. If you're going to have a say in qualifying... Furch is out both the Alpines.
Alpine disaster. Both of them have crashed. Ray at least has crashed out of the Scari. Not sure how that happened.
Get on board, Bobby Love coming across the line in the Williams. Is it pole? It's not. But
P2,
1-2.
Williams front row though. Williams front row for now.
Go Boom cutting the track. It's all Logan Aim. Stopped. Freedom starting his lap now. Mason. A lot of these guys just trying to get out of the way, trying to cut the track. Boys, get your stuff straight. I didn't say you crashed, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's Ray and the that's not the Heredia, that is a Porsche.
Well, chaos here in qualifying. Oh my goodness. Wow. Obviously, a lot of people trying to get to the line in time. This reminds me of 2019 F1 qualifying IRL when no one got to the line besides 2 drivers in, I believe, either Q2 or Q3. So this is going to be crazy within the last minute or so here in qualifying as time's ticking down. So if you need to get to the line, now you're going to do it. KU is going to be the last to get to the line. So that's it. Time's done. So if you're on a lap, you got to go for it.
Freedom, big moment, but was 5 tenths up when he crossed the line. It's not going to be pole, but he will improve barely though. P8 does not actually improve any position. Mason Pope on board with him now. Called out the D2 field, said this field was coming through him. Only a 10th up though, still a lot. He still has to gain about a second. Oh, he cuts it. Does not.
Oh, he lost all the time.
That's a lot of time lost. What can Gary do? Gary 8 tenths up. If there's a guy that could potentially get pole, it's Gary. Mike G
it's
done.
It's going to be about P4, I think, for Gary.
Bobby Love done. Gary trying to come across the line now. P13. Only used a set of mediums. He's going to come across the line. It might be pole. It will not. P5. Here comes the Mercedes
KU
across the
invalidated
line.
as well.
KU invalidated. Masopsa comes across the line. What's it going to be for the Mercedes? It's P2.
P2 just by a tenth and a half, and the Aston Martin P2.
Oh, Go Boom got nicked off a pole, and that's the end of qualifying because KU, yeah, that's it. Mike G on pole. Go Boom in second. Masop's P3. Not a big split. KU or Go Boom only 300s off. Mike G, Mason only less than 2 tenths down. So room to play if you're the top 3, even top 4.
Yeah, it's a double Mercedes power car. First through fourth. And then you got the two Ferrari-powered cars, 5th and 6th, and then a mix of cars here. Alpine 7th, 8th in the Haas. Logan Aim, defending champion in 9th, and Freedom Flyer in 10th. And you got Color VI in 11th, Movement in 12th, Team Air Jordan 13th, Big Jim 14th with his teammate Ballstick in 15th, Virginator in 16th, and Dink making a second start, I believe, in the AlphaTauri in 17th.
Hectic qualifying to start.
Yeah. First race of the season. I mean, this is probably the most chaotic qualifying yet, to be honest.
Remember, I believe formation lap is on. Could be wrong. I don't actually know, but hopefully formation lap is on. I don't see why there would be a reason not to have it. But opportunities, if you're the top three, things kind of get bottled up in the back half of the field and can really bottleneck things. The guy from 5th, 7th, 9th hit the guy in front of them, and it's a Constantine effect. And collect the guys. Yep, formation lap. To no surprise. So, gonna reset everything here. Let everyone see what tires they're on. A lot of mediums to start. Gary on the hard, Logan Aim, and Team Air Jordan. Only 3 drivers of the 17 on different compounds to start.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see how fast the soft runners can make their way through the field if they do, especially compared to everyone on mediums and the lone person on the hard tires. So obviously this is probably going to be the most chaotic race that we've seen in a very long time. You know, you always know how Monza can go. Late safety cars, VSCs, you name it, it's there. But it'll be a pretty interesting dash into the first corner. Hopefully we don't see any collisions in turn 1, but knowing this track, it probably wouldn't be surprising to say the least.
Now, if you're driver like Gary, let's get on board with him now, and on those hards, knowing that you're not on the optimal tire right now, what's his strategy?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, Gary's on the hards. I mean, I think he's gonna wait for a safety car at the end of the race. To be honest, I think that's his best bet, because the thing is that, let's say there's an early safety car, which there probably will be. He's going to stay out while everyone else pits for hards, and then another safety car is going to come out towards the end of the race, and they're all going to pit for softs.
Now, one thing to point out is the start right here, these starting positions, trying to make sure you don't get disqualified, trying to get a little bit too much. We're going to see if anyone at the front does that. Mason gets in cleanly. Oh, number 7, yep, we talked about it. But see, and then look at KU and Bobby Love's position from Mason's screen. KU is already basically side by side with him. And if he gets a bad start in the Williams, could be a bad thing for the Williams.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Here we go. 5 red lights to the Italian Grand Prix.
And we are green.
Good start for Mike G. Good start for Logan. Hey, Mason
pulled
pretty wide. Going for it on the first lap.
Type start down in the first corner. Mason.
Oh, contact! Mike G cuts through. Everyone's still alive, it seems. Mason with a start of a lifetime. Team Air Jordan gets spun out.
Yeah, Mason got the Fernando Alonso type start from 2011 to go through the middle and get the lead from that, and now he is gone. Everyone's scrambling for position in the back. You get the Haas and the Ferrari side by side through here. Gary is going to go wide.
Crossover move by Paul Walker Supra down side by side into one. Contact, Big Red. Look out,
Watch out, guys.
virtual safety car that kind of saves everyone there. And Paul Walker, you got to kind of just back out of that situation.
Yeah.
It's just
a lot
not a
of cars with
corner.
damage back here. The Red Bull Ballistic is missing his entire front wing.
Full core
no,
safety
it's
car.
A full safety car. Full
That's
core
surprising.
safety car is out. Wow. Interesting. Well done. That changes a little bit of things. This does help everyone. This does help Gary, who's on hard tires, to go a little bit longer on the set. But interesting. I'm not sure what exactly caused the safety car, but I assume it's with all the debris all over the place from people losing their front wings. What a start from the leader, Mason. Shot right through the middle, was able to get the lead. There was a little bit of contact between him and the Aston Martin.
Oh my God,
that
Dank.
might be talked about.
Dank.
Oh yeah,
has
Dank.
not. Dank. Yeah, we're gonna. Dank's kind of new to this, so we're gonna tell him to pit. He has no wing, so.
Oh yeah, he's missing the entire right side of the wing. Actually, no, it's the whole wing. Never mind.
Oh my God, he just ran into color.
Yeah, that might be a penalty. Oh Lord. Well, you learn somehow in this game. Everyone learns somehow. But, Team Air Jordan goes to the pit lane, puts on a fresh set of mediums. Logan Aim goes on
Dank
the
has
hard tires.
ran into color 5 different times.
Oh, jeez. Well, let's look at the race directors, see if there's anything. Nope.
Yep, 10 people in that party. So, Heredia, Paul Walker Supra, Mr. Hex, Freedom, Movement. That's on you guys to help Dank there in that situation. You've done this before. So, should be no excuse on why Dank has any issues tonight.
Might be a 6th time if he's not careful. I don't know how he hasn't got a 5-second penalty for the collision, but I guess it's nothing serious at the moment. Honestly, we should be going green this next lap, hopefully.
And there's another checkup.
Oh, jeez, guys, what are we doing, man?
Dank did not pit.
The Haas is going back into the pit lane for some reason. But just waiting up on the last 3 cars, pretty much, and the Haas, since he just pitted. And then should be going green this lap. I don't think that we're going to be waiting too much longer to go back to green flag conditions here at Monza. The Haas goes on a fresh set of mediums, but this is going to be an interesting race per se. I think now that they're going to be single file, everything should be a little bit calmer rather than the start. Obviously, there will be people trying to overtake each other into turn 1 on this restart, but regardless, I think it's going to be a lot cleaner. What the heck? What in the world happened here? What is going on in the backfield, guys? Come on now.
I can't. Oh my God.
What in the name? Okay. Well, Monza has everything, to be honest.
Oh, that's great.
Alright then.
Wow. I have
Well,
nothing
safety
to
car
say.
is most likely not going to be in this lap, unless the Haas can get caught up right here.
It is.
And it is. Race control has said, oh, watch out, watch out. Oh, that slowed everyone
I heard
really
a big
fast.
clunk.
Wow, that was a late checkup. Watch out, guys, come on. But, yeah, we go back racing this lap. Mason is going to try and get the best restart he can. Obviously, with the long straight, everyone's going to be slipstreaming each other to try and get that extra bit of speed down the straights. Mason just waiting a little bit more for the safety car to go in the pit lane.
Hasn't gone yet. A lot of accelerating. Watch the checkups towards the back
And
half
he
of the
is
field.
off.
Yep, there it is.
That's a really good restart from the Mercedes driver. Here comes the Ferrari of Gary up to 5th, past KU.
Gary does not have an illegal overtake. Remember, the safety car is already in. Oh my G, look out, big
The
time, big
Williams
time.
on each
Wow.
other. There's a bit of a collision in the back with someone. I think it was Big Jim and someone.
Freedom up to P7. Ray P8. Oh my God.
Oh, that's
That is
collision.
movement. My goodness,
That's gonna be a
guys.
penalty for movement.
That's a 3-second time penalty.
Whoa, he almost hit the back of the McLaren.
Oh,
rejoining.
Dank's off the track. There's a big AlphaTauri just floundering.
And there's someone off in the back. I think it's a Red Bull. It is.
Chaos in this back half of this field. I would not be surprised. Whoa, look out. Shoulder thrown by Furch.
Someone's got to give here.
In the chicane. No one's been. Oh, look out. Jim lost his front wing.
Oh, there goes Birch. He saves it.
Someone
Oh, my
lost the front
goodness.
wing big time. I don't know who it
think it
was.
was
It was
Furch.
Big Jim. It's just survival back half of this field. You need to pit if you broke your wing. It's not that difficult. Will Jim pit?
Nah, he
Jim's
won't.
staying out. Oh, broken wing.
Yeah,
at
he's
all.
missing his left front end plate. He is not going to have a good time in Sector 2.
Anyone with a dive. Team Air Jordan. He doesn't go for a dive.
Oh, yes, he does on the Alpine, I think.
Chaotic start. Paul Walker Supra in pit lane on a set of hards. But, you know, now that things have somewhat died down in the front half of this, or the back half of this field. Gonna get on board
It's
with
really,
Mike G, Gary,
really two different
Freedom.
groups here.
Yeah. There's the front group, which is about the first 9. And then the second half, Logan Aim, Team Air Jordan, Big Jim, Furch, Freedom, potentially going for a move here on Gary into the chicane. Someone's gonna give. He
Gary
pushes
is
him
not
off.
giving. Here comes KU in the back here with the run on Gary.
Good overtake by Freedom there. A little bit bold, a little bit aggressive, but given the space, and Gary backed out of it.
Yeah, I think Gary should have backed out of it just a little bit sooner. That way he wouldn't have lost so much time to the Mercedes. DRS isn't able to slap, so we will finally see as the movement is off the track in the last sector. That was close. Really, the top 2 are pretty much gone from 3rd on back. For now. Oh, here comes Freedom on the inside of Mike G. Freedom, you gotta back out of that.
Yeah, not really an overtaking zone. But, oh, Bobby Love.
Whoa,
Big.
Mike G.
Okay, you look out. Wow. You want to talk about a save. You want to talk about someone that was sideways. Freedom going for another overtake. Gets P4. Mike G, does he push? Freedom, a little bump that might not.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. You can't be doing that here.
Mike G smart though, knows what he's doing. There's a car around,
Oh,
movements
that's moving
out.
over
That
time.
might
That
bring
might
a
be a
safety
safety
car.
car, and that's a VSC.
VSC.
If you gotta pit, I would pit now for hards. Pit now for hards.
No one taking the opportunity. Gary
Wow,
can't pit.
that's surprising. That's very surprising.
I think here you kind of want to keep your track position, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't really lose that much time with the VSC, especially down this main straight here. I would have pitted if I were anyone in the top 5, because, I mean, you're only pitting, I think, maybe 4 laps later. It's not that much of a difference.
Yeah, but you still got to overtake people, and it's been shown that overtaking here.
Yeah, that is true.
You don't want to have to,
especially with this field.
anyway, you don't have to overtake anyone, and especially if you're this top group, Masopes, Go Boom, Bobby Love, Freedom, you want to keep this track position.
This really doesn't, honestly, the one that's really affected by this is, not movement, but Gary on the hard tires. Because if there's, if maybe let's say 2 laps later, there's a safety car.
Mason just almost spun out. I don't get it. I don't understand how this happens. It's not that difficult.
Oh,
there's a drive-through.
Drive-through.
Mace. That's huge because he was in points.
Yeah, he was. That was P9 there.
And something happened between Freedom and Mike G. Mike G back ahead.
Freedom. Oh, that's close.
Freedom's going to make this overtake for P4. Looks like Mike G kind of lets him have it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't defend with that, to be honest. Freedom is catching up to the other Williams here as he loses a little bit of time off the exit, but still within a second just about. But for the most part, everything else stays the same.
Yeah, I'm going to get back on board with our leaders. Mason! Mason! Moment too big, probably. Gonna have to regroup. A lot of ERS.
He just got so much understeer through that first Lesmo. It just ruined his entire sector 2. But the good thing is he has DRS, and he's obviously going to wait back and just retake the lead on the main straight if he can keep up with the Aston Martin, which he will comfortably do. But really big moment.
Oh, Freedom!
Freedom's out! The Mercedes driver is out of the race! He has caught the barrier out of Ascari, and that is no safety car or VSC at all. That's surprising. Wow. He must have caught the curb on the right side, and he must have just lost it because he went head first into the barrier. Disaster for the Mercedes driver.
Oh, Paul Walker Super lags out of the session. Is
unfortunate.
Got to fight for the lead here.
Oh yeah.
Or Mason did pass Go Boom. He has a lot of ERS though, and you know, hopefully if there's someone in his ear, it's time to push. Let's not mess around here. As the team owner of the Mercedes, but I mean, Go Boom has the same as well.
Yeah, Mike G seems like he's struggling with the rear tires a little bit. KU's catching him just a little bit. Oh, KU's around.
He will be fine. Just gotta watch. Good thing ghosting is on, because that probably would have been a really nasty crash. No harm, no foul. Still in the race. That's the most important thing here.
Just lost it through the second Lesmo. That's been probably the most difficult spot, you know, for everyone this entire session. Not only for the race, but also qualifying as well, as we've seen a couple of drivers lose it out of that corner. Team Air Jordan has rebounded himself up to P8, waiting. He might actually get P7 here if he's able to keep it straight, and he does, and he's going to comfortably go by the Aston Martin.
Only lap 10. Feels like we've been here for a really long time.
Yeah. It seems like it's been forever, to be honest. The Aston Martin and the Mercedes are not going away from each other, so this is going to be a fight between them, unless there's a safety car.
getting a little comms from the Mercedes driver leading, saying his tire's a little bit too hot, so doesn't really trust his car right now. The ability
Yeah, I
to
mean,
do
yeah, but
anything.
I mean, going through the gravel out of the first Lesmo obviously doesn't help. Not only that, they've been on these for about 10 or so laps. Right now, there's a yellow flag. Looks like
I think it was
looks
dank.
like it was Dank. But anyways, going back to what I was saying. I mean, expect everyone to be pitting here shortly for the hard tires, I would assume. I don't see anyone staying out, long enough to go in the softs unless there's a safety car. I mean, you kind of have to bank on a safety car in order to pit for softs to stay out this long, but I expect everyone to pit for the hard tires. Gary is going to be on the medium tires,
Mason misses the
if I had to
corner
guess.
again in front. Goblin's going to stay in this DRS zone. But one thing I'm intrigued about, I don't know if it's just the drivers aren't pushing, they're trying to save, but all the drivers, if you look, obviously Bobby Love has 50% because he's trying to get into that 1 second window to get back in the DRS, but Mason with over 90%, Goboom over 90%. Gary's starting to use a little bit of his as the hard start become the optimal tire, but a lot of guys still with a lot of ERS to play for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, oh, we see, I thought there was somebody pitting, but, I mean, obviously with the safety car, you can obviously, recharge the whole battery, and obviously the VSC helped with that as well, so, I mean, about maybe 5 or 6 laps with the VSC, so about half the race, under safety car conditions, whether it's, the VSC or the safety car, it's been pretty easy to save, ERS, and obviously the top two, they don't really need to use it because it's been a DRS swap back and forth with them, so it's not really anything unusual, I'd say. Especially with people in P3, P4, P5. I mean, they've used it a little bit, but nothing too serious, to be honest. But for the most part, everything's pretty much calmed down here, unless we got another safety car.
Yeah, things have kind of calmed down. Obviously, pit stops are coming up shortly. Um, Bobby Love still, Dank gets a 3 second time penalty, but Bobby Love still just barely in the fight. Obviously, if you pit a lap earlier, he would get in there DRS, but still trying to get in there. And then can't count out Gary as well. Starting to, those hard should be the optimal tire currently. So we'll see if Gary can probably, if he can gain on Bobby Love and get within like half a second, he will be in this fight for this race win. Especially before they get to pit stops.
Oh yeah, for sure. And not only that, the hard tires. I mean, right now in the race, they're the most, they're the fastest compound right now. But obviously, just waiting
Oh,
for
Bostic,
everyone to.
there's the safety
Oh,
car more than likely, and there it is.
yep, there it is. Now it's time to go on the softs. Everyone's gonna be pitting for softs, most likely.
What do we think here? The softs can go that far, but
I mean,
do
here's
you
the thing
use
though.
that set of softs, or do you go
Oh
into a
yeah,
set of
you absolutely
mediums?
have to. Because here's the thing, you have to think about it. By the time we go back racing, it's going to be about 10 laps to go. And that's not that long on a soft stint as well. So everyone can absolutely go on a set of softs.
Well, it's decision time for Go Boom, for Mason, making sure you don't speed here. Gary, 5 seconds in the pit
Oh,
lane.
that's going to cost him so much. That was not necessary. There was no reason for him to push like that in the pit lane.
Nothing to lose, nothing to gain.
I mean, he had a comfortable gap to the car behind. There was no reason for him to do that.
Look at different strategies here. Go Boom on those set of softs that we talked about. As Jordan Poole drops 41 points at a preseason game, but you know, very shuffled up here. Team Air Jordan on a set of softs. What does Furch do? I think if your first set of softs, color a set of hards. Interesting. Does KU stay out?
He
He
stays
will.
out.
He's gonna
I
get
mean, he
that
just put
track
it for
position.
hard, so
Yes.
obviously you kind of have to stay out at this point.
Everyone pinning set of softs, set of.
Because here's the thing: by the time we go back racing, you know, it's gonna be lap maybe 17.
No,
Because
I think we'll go back next time by, so lap 15.
I don't know though.
The field will be caught back up by the end of this lap, if not the next laps, and they'll definitely go back. They'll be fine. I think they'll go back next time by. They'll go another lap,
Oh yeah, for sure. At least another lap. So
and then they'll figure it out.
About 10 or 11 laps. I mean, that's still a pretty good stint, especially compared to the hard tires. I mean, this is going to be pretty interesting. The big shock to me is Gary getting that 5-second penalty. There was no reason for him to push. I don't understand the reason to push under the safety car.
Who do you think is in the best spot out of the, let's just say the top 10?
I mean, if I'm going to be honest, it's going to be the Aston Martin of Go Boom because, I mean, he's been pretty fast. He's been up there with Mason the entire race, and obviously he's on the way better compound compared to Mason. I think for him, it's all about, you know, not only getting past him, but, you know, extending that gap before DRS is enabled. Because, you know, obviously once you're leading the race, you have everybody behind you with DRS, and obviously DRS here is a big thing when it comes to Monza because you can go from first to fourth in a split second just like that as Furch, and what is going on? Oh, Big Jim has spun around, it looks like. That's odd.
Yeah, you're just going to have to get better if you're spinning out under caution, just being honest.
Not sure what was happening between him and Furch, though. They were swapping positions left and right, so not entirely sure what happened here.
Do they go green here? This is where I assume they will.
It depends if the AlphaTauri catches it up.
They won't, unless it's a late call. This helps. This helps Go Boom out a lot because of those set of softs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Every lap that we don't go green just helps those set of softs. Yes, the hards might be better towards the end of the race, but this just gives more confirmation that those softs will make it towards the end of the race. But the question is, Go Boom has to be on the attack here. Same with kind of Gary as well, even with the 5-second time penalty. But if there's a safety car in 5 laps, or even on this restart, I think everyone would stay off. But 2, 3 laps, 4 laps, and then there's another wreck and safety car. Go Boom, Team Air Jordan, Furch, all those guys on softs are on the back foot. But this race is not over. by any means. They will go green next time by. I think if you're Gary, I would have said he was in the best spot, but that 5-second time penalty is just going to hurt him out. Hurt him the most. As safety car is in this lap, so Mason's just got to make sure, and all the guys behind him, make sure that there isn't the checkup. You see there's a lot of checkups in the safety car window. But the question for Mason is, when do you go? Obviously got to wait till the safety car gets back in the pit lane. But he kind of fooled Go Boom there. Just got to make sure. Is he going?
It looks like it. He's
No,
waiting.
he can't. I think the limiter.
Safety car's not in the pit lane, though. He can't.
How late does Mason go? Go
Waiting
Boom
till the
pushing
last
him. There he
second.
goes.
He's off.
Everyone kind of evened out. Jim making a pass on Color. That's the only
This is going to be dicey
group.
into turn one here.
Gary down the inside. Look out, Gary's round. Oh, Bobby Love's round as well. Mike G up to P3, the biggest benefactor, side by side with Gary now.
Oh, someone's got to give here.
2-1. Someone's gotta give.
Someone's got to give.
No one does. Mike G does. Crossover maybe. Gary has to set sail now if he wants to have a chance to win this race. Use those set of mediums. Oh, there's a car around us. Jim was just talking about him.
Back.
You're gonna get it back up front though. Go Boom, Mason. Go Boom's probably gonna go for it now. Why not? If you're the Aston Martin, does Mason fight this? He does not.
Mason just has to let him go. He's just gonna have to sit in the DRS and hopefully have those soft tires die off. It's them two. It's them two for the win. To be honest, I mean, they've gapped P3 by 2.5 seconds already. So it's gonna be Aston Martin versus Mercedes for the race victory. Oh my! Gary goes really deep. Here comes Mike G. Oh, and Furchinator has spun. That's really unfortunate for him. He was running in the points.
If you're Mason Pope, if you can hang on to Go Boom on those set of hearts, just stay in that DRS zone, I think it's beneficial for him because
Mason went wide.
Mason's gonna have to push here.
He's gonna have to use a lot of his ERS.
Go Boom is pushing as well. That's how Go Boom knows. Oh, Furch is out. Will that bring out a safety car? It
BSC.
does not. BSC.
This really helps the soft runners too.
You stay out here. You can't pit.
Obviously, you stay out. There's no chance that you pit. Not this late in the race. No.
The safety car is moving though onto the track.
And is it a VSC or a safety car?
It says VSC.
Oh,
safety car. Now use those softs. Mason pit. Gary should pit.
No,
he
they stay
doesn't
out.
pit. Gary's gonna pit. Yep.
Gary's gonna lose a lot of time. He has to serve that 5 second. You have to remember that.
That's good for Gary.
I think he's gonna go to last here.
this is interesting because the softs are P8. We still don't know who's going to win this. So I don't know. This helps KU, or not KU. This helps Go Boom out a lot. Trying to go for the sweep here. If you think about it, won the Xfinity race, trying to win the D2 race on the same day. This might not be as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I thought everyone was going to pit onto a set of softs, but the top guys have a buffer. If you're the top 3, top 4, you have that buffer.
And check this out, Logan Aim, he's in P4. We haven't really talked about him much this race, but he's on medium tires, and he might have a chance here to get a podium because those mediums are obviously a lot better at the hard tires in the early stint of these tires. So who knows? I mean, maybe we can see an Aston Martin 1-2. But I will be back momentarily.
Might go green here. I think we will go green here. Go Boom, set of softs. Ray, Mason, hards. Logan Aim, mediums. Paul Walker Supra, softs. And then the people that you got to worry about: Mike G, the Williams. Bobby Love, the Williams, set of softs. Color, a set of softs as well. These are the 3 drivers that you're going to have to worry about to say who's going to win this race. I think they will have a say because 3, 4, 5 lap difference in a set of tires really matters in this game. Safety car will be in this lap. So, but what can Gary do? Doesn't have that penalty anymore. Yeah, he's behind KU.
He's gonna have his work cut out for him. That's for sure.
But the order that these 10 are in now will not be the order that they finish in. I will say that. So,
oh yeah.
The question is, when does Go Boom go? And if you're Mason Pope, the message has been said that you need to get by this Aston Martin as soon as possible. Timing the start, and Go Boom has gone.
We agreed.
Big spread out towards the back half of this field. Ray didn't get a good start. Paul Walker Super popping out of line. Logan Aim going to go side by side with Ray. Does he do it in the slipstream?
Oh, man, looking for a dive here. Look for the dive.
Inside, Logan Aim, Aston Martin. Well, big time.
The
Williams
he's going to do switch back.
Pass.
Oh, maybe the 2 Williams drivers next to each other.
Here comes Gary. Look at all these soft runners behind. Set of softs. Gary trying to go around the outside of Color.
He's going to get the position.
Color's not the type to back out, but Gary isn't the type to back out as well. But look, Mike G, they're all stuck behind Logan Aim. All those set of softs cannot really capitalize on those set of softs.
Oh, Mason. Wow, that was close. Mason cut the second Lesmo and almost spun.
Mike G needs to be on the attack here.
It's going to be a fight for P3 right now.
Every single turn that these drivers go through where they're behind this Aston Martin. This just hurts. Here comes Gary now. Mike G trying to go around the outside of Logan Aim. Mike G backs out of it. Oh, maybe? Does he have enough grip?
Williams of Bobby Love goes the inside of the Ferrari. The Ferrari's off. The Ferrari's off.
This thing is not over. I don't know what happened to Gary. Was there a little contact?
Gary got sent by the Williams and just went off the track. That's not going to be... Gary's not going to be happy with that, to be honest.
Color trying to go around the outside of Bobby Love now. Might see some
Oh,
penalties.
he's
Colors
just, oh,
round.
that's gonna be a penalty. That's a penalty. Come on, Gary, you know better than that. That's just wrong. That
Did not
come
see
on
what
now.
happened, but this thing is
He
not
just dumps
over.
the McLaren.
What does he do with KU now? They have hit a little history as well. Ray Ray is holding up this second group. This just gives 3 seconds. This is a buffer that Masopes. This is the buffer that
Oh, look at the Aston Martin, the Williams.
Wow, look out! Ray Ray has to fight. He can't just let them go as much as he wants to. He's still fighting for points as well. Gary probably going for another move on the Williams. He does not. Big Jim in points. Good for him so far in the
Whoa,
Red
that's
Bull.
close.
Look at Gary. This thing is not over. DRS will be
These
enabled.
two did collide the previous lap, so whoa, that's close. Gary most likely will
Side
get a
by
penalty
side.
though, because he just what is going on up here? The Alpine is all over the place. The Williams is off track.
Ray Ray
DRS
has to
is
be on the
enabled.
attack here. He's not using it. How bad do you want it? Doesn't want it that bad. Does anyone else make a
Whoa,
move?
Gary!
Wow, look out!
He's out! Gary's out!
He's still in.
He got into the grass, and KU has...
He's retired
Into
on
the-
track. Does that bring in a late safety car?
It's not going to.
Fight for the lead. Mason Pope. Go Boom. He's going to let him have the spot. Now, how quickly does Mike G get up to these top two? The soft tires that he has are 5-lap fresher, and Mason's on a set of hards. Mike G, if he can bring that group up on them.
I
Mason,
think
does he
it's
go
going to
for
be
the
too
move?
little too late, to be honest. Two and a half seconds back. I mean, it'll be close, I guess, but it just has to depend, to be honest. Gap's down to 1.9.
Mason has to go. That the message should be
Oh,
clear,
yeah.
because Mike G's going to catch as Mason has a little. It's go time.
Over. It's over for the Aston, unless he can stay with Mason. But the straight line speed is just too much.
Mike G, if he can get within a second, look at all the drivers she's going to bring up with him. Side by side for 5th. Logan Aim, Bobby Love up to P5. Could see penalties though. Not over.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if Mike G can potentially get in that DRS, he's only 2 seconds behind. If he can get in that DRS, he brings 5 more drivers with him. Mike G on the attack here.
Yeah, it'll be close. I mean, the gap's. Oh, that's a
3
penalty.
seconds! That is big.
Whoa, Mike G, save it there. That's gonna be costly for him. That might even drop Mike G all the way down to 6th, maybe even 7th.
Might see another pass for the lead. Go Boom going back by Masopes. 3 laps of racing to go. Ray Ray going back by.
Honestly, between the top two, whoever's in second coming to the white flag has this race won, in my eyes. Unless something happens between these two, of course. Because the thing is, the gap in second, it really hasn't gone down at all. It's been 2 seconds for the past 3 laps, so I don't think they're going to get there. It's going to be between these top two.
Both of these drivers, I believe they're going for their first Division 2 wins, if I'm correct. So,
Yeah, that would be.
unless these two get together and then Ray Ray can get up into that DRS. The thing is not over, though. Do not count out Ray Ray on those set of hards. If he can potentially gain, all he needs is another 8 tenths, 7 tenths. And if Mason's going to stay behind Go Boom, there's opportunities here for Ray Ray in the Alpine.
Oh yeah, they're gaining quite a bit. It's down to 1.6, I believe. If you have ERS, you got to use it now.
KU 3 seconds.
Unfortunate for that.
Coming to 2 laps of racing to go. There's someone spinning out. That will not bring out a safety car because we're within the last 3 laps of this race. Color's going to be in points now. 2 laps to go. Mason kind of gaining back. Mason going for it here. I think Go Boom kind of let him have that spot. If I'm Mason, I think you want to be P2. How aggressive?
Yeah, you have to.
How aggressive will the DRS chicken be? Because if I'm doing anything mathematically possible to not be leading heading into the final lap.
Oh yeah, for sure. And not only that, you got to worry about the 3rd place car because he's not that far behind, and they're side by side. It looked like it was for a split moment from Ray Ray's POV, but Ray Ray's only 1.5 back. He's not that far back, so they can't really afford to, do the DRS chicken.
Oh, Logan aim.
So
time penalty.
Check this out though. Team Air Jordan all the way up to P5, maybe even P4 here.
With a potential penalty coming to Bobby Love, you could see it. And if any of the top 3 flounder some sort of incident, well, Mason's not going to let him have it, I don't think.
It's going to be interesting to hear. They're both going to be in the ERS, and you know it. It's going to be spinning. Oh, both of them have a big slide coming to the white flag. This is the last lap in the 2023 Division 2 Italian GP. Here comes the Aston Martin with the strong slipstream. Team Air Jordan with the fastest lap, but Mason is going to have to settle for P2 for now. A little bump. A little bump again.
Not using his ERS. I don't know why you're not using it in that situation. I don't know what we're waiting on. There's not going to be another DRS, or there actually will be, but he needs to be close enough to potentially make this move. But he's not on the optimal tire.
He's really close though. Both of them have about the same ERS, so Mason's got to use it now.
You have nothing!
Oh, Mason! Still close enough, though, for the DRS. Oh, Mason's going to have to send it in the Parabolica if he wants to go through, to take this win. Going through the Ascari chicane right now. They're both really close to each other, but the Aston has better traction. It's going to be P2, I believe.
Final corner.
And now going through the Parabolica, the Aston Martin, and the Mercedes 1-2. And it's going to be Go Boom coming to the line to just win the Italian Grand Prix. 2 wins in a single day. The Alpine of Ray Ray finishes 3rd. Bobby Love potentially getting a penalty, finishes 4th. Team Air Jordan with his best finish in D2 yet with P5. Big Jim rebounds to P6. Mike G falls down to P7 with the penalty. Logan Aim P8. KU with P9. Color VI P10. And Dank finishing in P11 in his first race of the season. What a crazy race.
Yeah, I would expect a penalty from number 7, so to potentially move Team Air Jordan to P4. So, but good win for Go Boom in the Aston Martin, doing the sweep. Can finally claim,
first time that's happened, I believe.
Yeah, can finally claim and say you've done that. So gonna get our booth members in here, and then They all have been invited. Joined by our race winner. Well, I guess Goboom, if your mic is enabled, we're just gonna start things
Yeah.
now. Winning the F1 or winning the NASCAR race, and then winning the SF1 race. How does it feel?
Feels great. I came into this day with no wins in Hennessy, and I leave it too. I think that, me and Masopes had a great battle. Playing DRS. That's F1 for you. Whoever has DRS probably will win, unless it's, I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't. Qualified second, only not even a tenth away from first. And yeah, I feel great. NASCAR and F1 same day. Pretty good.
Yeah, good run for you. Obviously getting that win, and then in NASCAR locking yourself into the playoffs, and then here, um, starting things off right, leading the championship. So, Porchy, do you have anything for our race winner?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, since it was you two going into those last few laps, what was it? What was going through your mind as both you were swapping with the DRS?
I had my team owners in my ear, so I was just listening to them. I'm not gonna lie. I knew if I had enough ES, I would win no matter what. Had enough.
Yeah. So, but we're not gonna hold you long. So we'll see you next week at Bahrain.
Yeah, thank you.
And I don't think our position 2 driver is here, but we're not gonna wait. So Ray, you watch our stream while you're racing. Just talk us through the decision to stay out on the set of hearts.
It was too early for the softs to really stay in working order through the last 8 or 9 laps. So by the time that the hards would have rubbered back in, gotten to temp, the softs would have peaked and started to cliff. It was just more or less a track position thing, and just keep clean and avoid getting into trouble with everybody else.
Yeah, good run for you though, especially because you were towards the back half of the field throughout before that safety car, and then but Porchy, anything for P3?
Yeah, obviously with, the amount of chaos happening in the last few laps of the race, just what was going through your mind as you were trying to hold on to the P3, with the hard tires, and not only that, everyone behind you with the DRS as well.
Uh, Being in the front of a train is not the greatest thing around Monza, especially with the hard braking zones. You can kind of get sent on fairly easily. So when it was kind of the easiest and the safest, I let Mike through, just trying to keep into his DRS, and hopefully he would drag me to the front group. But then he had the moment out of Ascari with the 3 seconds, and I got back around, and it was just keep safe, and I was in prime position to pick up any of the pieces had the two in front gotten into a scuffle.
Yeah, obviously, congrats on your podium finish. It was, very well earned with, the state of your hard tires as well. Joker, I'll pass back on to you.
Yeah, good run for you. Room for improvement, obviously, and then we'll see you next week at Bahrain.
Absolutely. It is a big track for me, so looking for another podium, if not a W.
Yep. We will now move on to the driver of the Mercedes, Masopes. Very hectic race, opportunities throughout the race, and then coming home P2. Just talk us through the Mercedes debut.
Yeah, I mean, I took the lead off the start from P3. I think the Williams and Go Boom were just a little slower on the start, and once I got the lead, I just had the lead for most of the race. Uh, the Aston Martin challenged me a few times and was able to get by me. We were on the same compound, maybe once or twice, but I felt like if we were on the same compound, I was probably the faster car. That's no kind of disrespect. I just, that's from the race itself. And then it was just a bad call. I think somewhere middle through the race, I should have pit, and I didn't. And I stayed on the hards. And the Aston Martin pit for softs, and it just kind of put him at a little bit of advantage for a few laps. But there's really it was fun. Like it was a really fun race. I had a really enjoyed time battling the Aston Martin. And like even though somebody readied up immediately and it kind of screwed my tires, they were max pressure the whole race. I didn't really get to drive 100% because of that. There's still no excuse though for coming P2. I should have won the race in my opinion, and that's not nothing. Nobody's gonna tell me anything that's gonna change that. So
And I like the confidence heading into Bahrain. Porsche, anything for P2?
Yeah, obviously, battling with the Aston Martin. How do you think this season will go? Do you think anyone else will challenge you in the Aston Martin, or will it just be you two for the time being? And not only that, what's your confidence like for this season as well after getting the P2, just being short of the win?
I mean the confidence is high. Like I'm not gonna try to step on anybody's toes, but I think if you're looking for the best all-around driver in D2, it's me. And I'm ready to prove that this season over the course of the season. But I think the Aston Martin's going to challenge me at every track. This isn't just a Monza thing. He's good everywhere, and I know that. So it makes it really exciting too. Whenever you have somebody like that who doesn't drive over their head, who's not you know overly aggressive on the racetrack. I think I bumped into him on the last lap in turn one once, and that was the only contact I made with him the whole race. And we raced by each other the entire race. So that should tell you, his type of racecraft, and it just makes it a lot better when you're racing somebody like that. I think Mike G is gonna, show up. I think that he had a down race, started P1, had a bad start. You didn't see him after that, and I think if the Alpine that finished P3, Ray, I think if he can improve his qualifying, he's definitely going to be somebody to watch. And he had to move through the field that entire race. When he finally got to some clean air up there in P3, you saw he stayed there, even on the older hards. So um, I think if he improves his qualifying time, he'll also be a championship contender for sure. But the confidence is very high.
Definitely, and obviously, congrats on your P2 finish, and we'll see you in Bahrain. Joker, I'll pass it back on to you.
Yeah, we won't waste any more time, and we'll move on, and we'll wrap things up. So, obviously, a double duty day, NASCAR and F1. First week of doing this, and it'll be like this for the next few months. So, next week or tomorrow, we'll see the NASCAR series head to Homestead Miami Speedway for round 2, and then the F1 series Division 1 starts off their charge for glory. Clay trying to repeat, or trying to go 3 in a row. See if Jackson, myself, Porchi, Heredia can stop him from doing that. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. NASCAR first, and then right back here for F1 at Italy, Monza. And thank you for everyone showing up tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.